to all my peeps that use Chat GPT, I always mess that up. Chat GPT. To all my peeps that use it, right? I need y'all to try something. If you've been using it for quite some time, it's learning you. So when you get a second, ask it, type it out, ask it, what does it think about you? Or ask it to describe you, the person you are, what type of person you are, something along those lines, and see what it tells you. You want to see something creepy? Check that out for me. All right, let's get to the craziness. All right, so listen, you know how this goes. Question everything. You should. And remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Let's get to it.
It's foggy as out right now. I mean, it looks like Silent Hill in my fucking neighborhood. It is
bad news. The fog is getting thicker. And Leon's getting larger.
Listen, man, this fog, I thought it was gone. I hadn't been hearing a lot of people talk about it, but I was wrong. I was wrong. It ain't went nowhere. Nowhere. I need to go back through this video and get the names of the cities so I know which cities not to visit no time soon. But the question is, not only is the fog there, but are y'all smelling like the weird smells with the fog? Like I saw the guy walking the other day and he was like, it smelled, it was something he really couldn't explain, but he knew it wasn't good for him.
The age of lab-grown meat has arrived in this country. The Agriculture Department just approved 2 California companies to sell chicken grown in steel tanks using cells that come from an animal egg or a special bank of stored cells. The cell-cultivated chicken will first be available at a restaurant in San Francisco and another one in Washington, D.C. The age of lab-grown...
Yeah, don't eat that. Don't eat that. I know they probably done did what they did with it, and it's probably too late now, but I still want to say it. Don't eat that. Now we gotta die. We gotta dissect our food, bro. I don't know what instruments we need to buy for the house. That way we can send it through something to see if it got any bacteria, figure out a way to test it for chemicals, all before we eat it. That's what we need to design. Something to be able to extract a lot of bad things from the food, so it's at least to a safe point where we can eat it.
Is some of the shrimp you love eating contributing to the exploitation of women in India? Millions of women work in its expanding seafood industry, predominantly located in Andhra Pradesh, an industry bringing in $7.38 billion in the last fiscal year alone. Their largest buyers, the US and China. CNN spoke with migrant women who described shocking conditions in shrimp processing units in Andhra Pradesh. Some said they work 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week, earning on average $130 per month, which is below India's minimum wage. They live within the factory premises, confined within boundary walls, some topped with electric fencing, and share cramped rooms with up to 50 others. A recruiter told CNN that even children under 14 are employed and hidden during inspections in large bungalows outside the factories. The Indian Authority for Marine Product Exports told CNN they welcome collaborative engagement to ensure all concerns are addressed. They say they're committed to protect labour rights. To learn more, go to CNN as equals. Is some of the shrimp...
Really? Y'all just ruined the low country broil for me now. That's definitely going to be on my mind the next time I have a low country broil. For y'all that don't know what that is, that's when you make the shrimp, sausage, potatoes, corn, and some people started putting all kind of other craziness in it. I would go as far as maybe putting crab leg in it. That's about as far as I go. People put eggs and all. Anyway, that's besides the point. Because y'all done got me hungry now. But, yeah, y'all don't have me thinking about that, bro. That's insane. How do we stop that?
Federal workers now have until Monday to decide whether to take a buyout after a Clinton-appointed judge extended that deadline.
I hope it ends there, too. The move comes as nearly all USAID employees are reported to be laid off tonight, with unions now suing the Trump administration over the sweeping cuts. They'll be for over 1,000 to 300.
It's unbelievable. Lucas Thomason joins us live from Washington with the details. Good morning, Lucas.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Well, if you're a federal worker on the fence about taking the buyout, you have some more time to think it over. Not the case for thousands of USAID workers who face a midnight deadline tonight. Here's Secretary of State Marco Rubio on the cuts.
We're not trying to be disruptive to people's personal lives. We're not being punitive here. But this is the only way we've been able to get cooperation from USAID. I had preferred not to do it this way. When we tried to do it from the top down by getting cooperation from the central office of USAID, what we found instead are people trying to use the system to sneak through payments and push through payments despite the stop order. The United States will be providing foreign aid, but it is going to be foreign aid that makes sense and is aligned with our national interest.
Now, USAID is being folded into the State Department, who plans to keep only about 290 employees. More than 10,000 will lose their jobs tonight at midnight. Unions representing the workers say these actions have generated a global...
I don't care how you feel about the foreign aid, because I'm one of the ones who don't appreciate some of the stuff that our tax dollars are going to. But it's me that doesn't want to see nobody lose their job. If you've ever been on the other end of that, losing your job, being furloughed, trying to figure things out. Remember the furloughs that came several years back? Yeah. Or you had to go home without pay for however long and stuff like that. Like, this is worse than that. I'm never a fan and never will be happy that somebody's losing their job and their family has to try to figure out their next move. It's just not me.
Humanitarian crisis by abruptly halting the crucial work of USAID employees, grantees, and contractors. They have cost thousands of American jobs, and they have imperiled U.S. national security interests. Now, the U.S. Office of Personnel Management says, in compliance with court order, the deadline for federal employees to accept the deferred resignation program is being extended to Monday, February 10th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. The program is not being blocked or canceled. The government will honor the deferred resignation offer. Now, we've put together a list of some of the things USAID is spending money on with your taxpayer dollars. Perhaps we get a few more turns on the scroll there. 1 million gender diverse support in Bangladesh, 1.8 million for Honduran LGBT group. Some of the bigger ticket items, 15 million for condoms to the Taliban, 19 millions assisting migrants in Colombia. The list goes on and on. As you can see here, 3.3 million for a Caribbean LGBT group, 29 million for young and female working Egyptians, and 14.9 million for supporting LGBTQ youth in Cambodia, and 49 million for improving reading scores in Zambia. Now, some lawmakers on Capitol Hill, guys, seem to support USAID, and that includes Mississippi Senator Roger Wicker, who says USAID is important to countering Chinese influence, but he also acknowledges some of these spending programs are a bit wasteful, guys.
Right. Thanks so much, Lucas.
Thanks, Lucas.
Thank
So
you, Lucas.
you would think it might work to their benefit to point out some of the programs that are dubious, to point out other ones that are necessary.
You know what I was talking about today? I was like, you know what? And I was thinking about this. I was like, you know why they don't teach budgeting and different things and spending and how not to get in debt over your head in school? Look at our country. Look how much we're in debt. They don't know how to teach it. And if they do teach it, they ain't gonna teach us the right way. That was just something that popped into my head though today.
But instead, they want to condemn people for bringing it up. When, as Mark Thiessen writes today with Perspective, he said Warren Christopher, Secretary of State under Bill Clinton, was the first to say, these guys are out of control. Let's fold them into the State Department. Al Gore was going to do it, but he got massive pushback from USAID, and they said, okay, we'll fold. Senator Joni Ernst said, what are you guys spending your money on? You're looking as though you're not even going for American causes. You're going for anti-American causes. They threatened her. They told her to back off. And as Peggy Noonan writes, she says, of all the agencies being batted around, this one will remember the first one will recall the period in the history of the U.S. agencies for international development. Some of whose line items were spending was devoted to cultural imperialism. You have seen the list. USAID produced DEI musical in Ireland and everything we just saw. She says, when you look at what they are pushing in the world, you think they're not fighting anti-American feelings. They are causing anti-American feelings.
Well, Ainsley, I'm stunned that they have allowed the Republicans now to be the party of the people. And when I say the people, I mean the American people. If there was an argument to be made of some program internationally that you want to fight for, you could just go to the president of the White House and say, can we at least just keep this program? But that's not the argument that they're making. They want to keep all of the programs from the USA, even though it's fraud, waste, and abuse going on, in place. And I just don't think this is... Of course they're not going to win against the Republicans, but they're not going to win with the American people. They're not going to have all these Americans calling and protesting to keep programs from foreign governments.
Yeah, you're going to have progressive people that want to keep all of those programs, that whole scroll of list. But the common sense, middle of the road, Democrat or Republican is going to say, and all the Republican Party is going to say, stop wasting our money. We're in debt. We're giving money to these programs that we don't agree with to other countries. They don't need these programs. Some of them, yes, maybe. And there's an argument for that. If it's feeding children or if it's preventing HIV from a child from getting HIV and they're allowed
Schools over there and stuff like that. I heard when they said schools, that one didn't bother me like that. But it was other things that bother you. You're like, why are we paying for that? I can understand schools and helping children get educated. But some of that other stuff, you're like, what?
To send that drug over or the malaria drug. I get it. But these programs, I mean, it's so much waste. And the Democrats, what are they scared of? Are they scared to save money? Are they scared that we'll pull back the curtain and actually see how progressive these Democrats really are? They don't want this done, and it just baffles most Americans.
So here's Joe Rogan saying, hey, guys, this is what America voted for.
What's fascinating right now is we're getting a chance to see what happens when you take a business approach to the government. The same people that say we need radical change.
Right.
We need radical change. We've got corruption. We need radical change. Okay, well, here's your radical change. We don't need this. But you do.
Yeah.
The government does. They need oversight.
Yeah,
and they haven't had that. And because of that, you're seeing this. Not just waste. You could call it waste, but it's deeper. It's deeper than waste. It's corruption. And you're seeing that corruption get weeded out.
Some of the people...
Well, if you've ever had like an accountant or know somebody who has had an accountant or a business that sometimes you hear people say, listen, you need to audit the accountant. You need to audit this person or that's working for you or something like that. They need to be audited to see where there's room to cut and wasteful spending happening. You audit yourselves in your household to be like, okay, how many subscriptions do I have? I got a Netflix subscription, I got a Hulu subscription, do we need all of this? Are you possibly watching all of this? No, we're not. Let's cut that. You know what I mean? That's what needs to happen to be able to say, okay, how do we get this deficit down? How do we get out of this debt that we're in?
People working for Elon Musk Group, Doge, are in their 20s.
So
what is wrong with 20-year-olds? Have you talked to them in terms of being, the Silicon Valley is populated by mostly 20-year-olds, 20 to 30-year-olds. This is their generation. This is intuitive to them. They're great at it, and they helped Elon Musk build 7 major companies that made him the richest person in the world. So they, between 40 and 60,000 workers have applied for the 6-month buyout. So they're examining whether we can do that or not. Bottom line is, our federal structure is too big, so in any company, you have to pare it down. When your number one expenditure is paying the debt on money you owe, this has to be the focus. But if you look at the left, all they're doing is mocking Elon Musk, one of the smartest, richest people in the world, and ripping 20-year-olds because they're examining the Treasury. So I hope the judges don't get in the way of this paring down and slimming down of the government.
Well, I just know the
Well, they ripping people too because they don't want to see people lose their jobs. You know what I mean? If there was somewhere we could place these people that are out of a job, essentially, then, you know what I mean? You probably wouldn't hear so many people criticizing. People are going to criticize regardless, but some of it wouldn't be that much of a leg to stand on. But people losing their jobs have a lot of people in uproar as well.
Executive branch has large discretion over these funds. And when I look at all the crises in America that we're currently experiencing, we can go all the way back to Ohio, East Palestine. Were there protests advocating for those people? Have there been protests in Los Angeles for the rebuild? North Carolina, have we seen people assemble to give those folks the funds that they need? They have not. And I think it's a slap in the face of the American people. And one viewer came on the Martha show yesterday, and I'm not saying this is true, but the viewer said, are they getting money? Like, why are they so passionate? For the average day American at home, this is an independent voter. She's like, why are they like this? Are they getting kickbacks or something? They're so passionate about this money.
Next up, the NGOs. They're examining what's going on there.
Oh, we need that, right? Okay, and Joe Rogan's right. It's corruption. It's more than waste.
So I turned my EBT assistance into a career. And if I did it, you could do it too. I will never in my life pay cash for groceries ever again. I have been on government assistance going on 14 years now, and it's been the best 14 years I have ever lived. I have never understood why people like waking up and going to work. I use the system for everything they got. Section 8, EBT, cash assistance. I even live off of my child support. Turning EBT into a career was the best business move I have ever done. I give out classes on how to do this. And for every single person that gets approved, I get a percentage off of their benefits. And that is exactly why I don't have to work, because everybody wants to apply for food stamps. So I give you hints and tips and tricks on how to get approved. And your way of saying thank you to me is giving me a percentage off your EBT card. It's a win-win for all of us. So I turned my EBT assistance.
You're talking about a modern day hero. She's a steward of sorts. She is, you know, I don't have any more adjectives to describe her, you know? You want somebody to be mad at? Or are you upset that what's happened with the programs? This type of thing has been happening. She says she's done this for 14 years. Like, her EBT scam is almost able to get a driver's license. That's how old the scam is. Yeah. That's, wow.
Oh my God. Hold on, y'all. I got big news. Hold on. Y'all know I've been scared. Y'all know it's Eat Better today, y'all. So we finna check it out, okay? We finna see this Trump put his foot down, or is I'm finna be able to eat better.
Para español, marque dos. للعربية, enter your 16-digit card number.
I'm hungry.
Please enter your PIN.
I'm hungry.
Pound key.
I'm hungry. I want a tomahawk. I want some crab leg. Oh, Lord, please. God, I believe I got the
balance is $292.17. To hear that again.
Ow! Baby, let me get my Crocs. Let me get my purse. I'm out of here.
A flight in Alaska has went missing, and they are counting on you guys to not have your thinking caps on and to have very weak critical thinking skills. Because anyone who could see what's going on with these flights and these airlines would be able to reasonably deduce that this stuff cannot just be coincidence. I've been alive for 2 decades. You have been alive for however long you've been. And you guys know that things with planes and airlines and flights do not happen this frequently. They don't. So there has to be a bigger picture. There has to be a hidden agenda. And I'm not even trying to just, reach for something that's not attainable. It's legitimately crazy. They are doing things behind the scenes and they don't want you to think about it. They just want you to be in fear over it. How does a flight go missing, bro? Like, can you tell me that? Can somebody let me know? How does a flight go missing? I have never seen this before. I've never seen so many flights have all these complications. What's the motive here? Like, I'm just not buying it. There has to be an ulterior motive. There has to be some sort of agenda because I've never seen this sort of stuff happen with flights. And another thing, this stuff could have been happening for many decades, but it probably just wasn't getting reported. Why is the news covering all of these complications with flights? Guys, we live in some very strange times, and a lot of people are going to be tested and are going to be tried with their everyday life. Everything is very anxiety-inducing. If you don't know Jesus Christ, you need to get to know him, because clearly our world has gotten incredibly worse over the past 5 years.
The Coast Guard discovered the wreckage of a missing plane carrying 10 people in western Alaska. The Bering Air Caravan was headed to Nome when it disappeared about 30 miles southeast of its destination on Thursday. Coast Guard officials say all 10 people on board died. Crews are using a Black Hawk helicopter to help move the wreckage from the unstable sea ice. The Coast Guard discovered the wreckage.
Hey, you hate to hear that. Part of me I was hoping they find them. It was just maybe some type of an error on the radar or something, or maybe an electronics error and they just lost communication for a bit. That's what I was hoping happened. Not that they found it and nobody survived. This is just continuously going on, man. What is happening?
What is a conspiracy theory that you believe in 1,000%? I'll go first. And being honest, I don't even think it's a conspiracy theory. Like, I believe this is 100% facts. Like, I strongly believe there are different versions of us, like, in parallel universes. Like, no, like, things are, like, way different for this different version of us in another parallel universe than it is here on Earth. Like, y'all seen that movie, Us? Like, I really feel like, what? But anyway, it's like that movie Us, like how they show the tethered people under the ground, mimicking everything that they were doing above ground. Like, I really feel like that's us, like, in a different parallel universe type. Like, we live in different lives, different family, different names, different career choices, like all that in a different parallel universe. And I really feel like that's where deja vu comes from. People who have claimed to have had past lives and can remember their past lives, like, I really feel like that was just you on a different universe. No, like, just thinking about it, like, it'll be so freaking weird and crazy if one day, possibly, hopefully in the future, we could really, like, meet this alternate version of ourselves. Like, I wonder how the two would act with each other. What is a conspiracy theory that you...
A lot of people have this theory, that it's a parallel universe and we're doing something totally different. We're not... Some people feel like because they're not seeing what's going on, they're in a different universe or parallel universe than we're in. So they're not seeing all of this things happening with the planes, the orbs in the sky, the drones. Some people are saying they're not seeing this stuff, so they're on a different timeline, or they've shifted timelines or jumped timelines or whatever you want to call it. So a lot of people have that theory.
Joey believes a ghost haunts his family's home when this was captured.
I've been living in this apartment for about 6 months now. For the past 2 weeks, some weird things have been happening in our son's room. So I wasn't gonna record, but I came here to feed the cats. We have 2 cats. So I came over to feed them, and I noticed that in his room, my son's room back here, there's one of my cats, I can hear his toy being played. And it was not on before. It is playing right now. And I don't know why it's playing right now. I didn't leave it on, but even if I did leave it on, like, I'll turn it off. Even if I did turn it on, it wouldn't automatically play. you'd have to, even if I brush over the keys, it doesn't really go. So you'd have to really press the button and ding it go. And it was not on, and it turned on, and I could hear it. And that's why I started recording. And now that I'm looking around, I was like, there's stuff knocked over. There's plants knocked over. There's fake plants knocked over. There's books on the ground. The wipes are on the floor. I don't know what is going on. And there is no one here. I am here by myself. There's nothing here. Did you see that? Am I insane? Am I insane? Someone just walked by the window. And I will go out there and show you that no one is here. This door is locked. This is the door you're just looking at. This door is locked. There's nothing out here. Nothing out here. There's a closet door. This is also locked. I don't think we've ever opened that door. It's always been locked. Just the weirdest things are happening. Weirdest things are happening.
Joey believes a ghost.
Listen, if you got a young kid, I think whatever that presence is that's active in your home isn't happy that you possibly had a new kid or something like that. Why else would it be terrorizing the baby's room? Seems like it's angry or frustrated or upset with the baby's room. Yeah, family, you might need to leave and not come back. You ain't even need to show us all. Once you show the toy, to which I think all those toys are possessed anyway, those type of toys, like we've all experienced one of them toys just cutting on randomly in the middle of the night if you had kids and scared the living daylights out of you. But seeing everything knocked over, that was all you had to show me. I wouldn't stay there no more.
Do you eat donuts? Of course you do. And do you follow along with the FDA recalls? So the website is still working, but I'm not sure that it's updating. But there is a problem with donuts. Yes, donuts. And I'm going to go check mine. The FDA recalled more than 2 million cases of donuts. And do you want to know why they recalled them? Listeria. Now, they originally announced the recall as a Class 2 recall back on January 7th, but now they've reclassified it. It's 60 different donut products, and now it's the second highest level. So they said that they updated the website. If you have not ever looked at the FDA recall website, I put a link, so if you click my face and then you have the first link, it's in there. It says FDA recall list, or check FDA recall list. So what you're going to want to do is go and click the actual recall. It'll tell you.
Her name, I'm going to give it to y'all so y'all can look and find the link if you wanted to, but I'm laughing because of her name. Her name is Mommy Hasn't Showered. MOMMYHASNT, no apostrophe, SHOWERED. Mommy Hasn't Showered. I kid you not.
The brand, the states that it's sold in, what the packaging looks like it has the pictures and everything. And I don't know about you, but I feel like there's been more and more listeria outbreaks. Also, hold on, my dog is looking at me, so let me show you because I'm trying to video and he's like staring at me. If you remember last year, there was that listeria outbreak with the deli meat and a processing plant, and it says that it killed 9 people and dozens of people had to be hospitalized. So this is not a joke. You need to keep up with this stuff. I try to check it every day. I was really good about checking it every day, but I at least check it once a week. So go ahead and do that because I've already had to throw away like stuff a couple of times. Do you eat donuts?
It's the name, and then looking after the name, now looking at her with the robe and everything. She looked like she hadn't showered. So, oh man, that kind of got me. I'm still a kid, bro. I'm still a little kid. I can't help myself. I can't.